intro video.
Hello, Evolution Agents. Welcome to Reggie's Travel Brew. I have our dear friend and one of our favorites, Mary Dring, here from Delta Vacations. Mary, thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We love when you're on here. We love you to death, and your company's amazing, and you've been great to all of us. So thank you for joining today.
Well, the feeling is certainly mutual, definitely.
So have you been? How's the weather in San Diego? What's going on?
Hey, it's probably much like what you've got, a little breezy, cool,
Yeah.
I'm feeling fall. I had to, kind of cozy up this morning and put my robe on and put an extra layer on my bed, which it feels so great. I
Yes.
love the fall. It's my favorite season.
Yeah, the fall's great. I actually went on my walk this morning and I walked outside. I'm usually just wearing my shorts and a t-shirt. And this morning I went, oh, I got to put on sweat bottoms and a sweatshirt and put the hoodie on. So it was, I loved it. It was great. We're finally getting to fall season, even though we're getting close to winter.
I know. A lot of people don't think we have fall out here. It's like one season. And,
Yeah.
I know which trees in the neighborhood actually do turn.
Oh.
It's not like a grove of aspens like some people out there have, these beautiful fall, and our palm trees don't really change colors, but we have a few pretty trees around here.
California does have a few trees that do change colors, but everyone else around the world, they actually have 4 seasons, and I get jealous sometimes. Let's briefly review. What is your role and what does that entail?
Sure. I'm a business development manager, and I call on the accounts in half of California. So this is my territory out here. I live down in San Diego, but today I'm driving up towards you guys for our day tomorrow in the office. But I call on travel agents only. I mean, you guys are my bread and butter and keep me going every day.
Fantastic. So you heard that, Evo Agents. She's here for you, and she's amazing. So please, watch the trainings. And speaking of trainings, tomorrow can you give us a sneak peek of tomorrow's training at 1 p.m. Pacific time with Delta Vacations and Mary Dring?
Yeah, you know what? After the Evolution Conference this year, you had a lot of new people, and they wanted to be trained on the website. And I know we have it loaded on Travel Cafe, but we did that, I think, Amanda, maybe over a year ago, and it really needed to be updated. And so I just think that, going into the new year, it's a great time to learn about World Agent Direct, how to book on it. Not everybody can book on it yet, but all you need is 2 months here, and then you can log in and get on the site. But so I'm going to be doing World Agent Direct, our travel agency portal, so you can make all your bookings on Delta Vacations.
Fantastic. So Mary, today Amanda has created some travel-related mini game questions for us, which I haven't seen yet. I heard they're new because we've done this before. So I'm a little nervous, but hopefully,
Me too.
hopefully we don't. Hopefully we can keep this PG, Amanda.
Yes, it is PG. It's going to be fun. So let's get started.
PG? Oh, okay. I might have to revise some of my answers.
No, you can still answer. Okay, so we're going to play a few mini games, and then you guys can both answer the questions, and then travel agents, you can play too. Put your answers in chat. And then at the end, we'll have time for the travel agents to ask questions to Mary. So let's get started.
Perfect.
So the first game is called What's Your Favorite? So Here we go. What's your favorite airline meal you've had?
Oh, geez. I'll go. You want me to go?
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Okay. It was Thai Airways, and I was flying to Bangkok from Shanghai, and it was some kind of curry meal that was just over the top. Even the in-flight, everything on that flight was just amazing. But it was a curry dinner, I think it was.
Well, mine is very simple and it had nothing to do because Mary's on the call. It was actually with the Delta Airlines. And
Good.
I don't remember where I was flying, but I happened to be in first class or business class. Sorry, not first class, but business class. And I got French toast in the morning, and it was
Mm.
amazing. I don't know how else to explain it, but it was French toast. I think it had a little cinnamon in it. I think that's what was the kicker.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds really good, and it's making me hungry already.
Yeah, so it actually was a Delta Airlines. So kudos to Mary and Kevin, our Delta Airlines rep. Maybe Mary put the extra cinnamon on for
I
mine.
did. Yeah. Maple syrup
Yep.
and cinnamon,
It was
butter.
good. And it was business class. I don't think I'm not cool enough for first class yet, but I got into business class, so that was a plus.
I'm gonna work on that.
I
Gotta
know
work
I
on it.
got to.
I love that. That's funny. I love those answers. So next, I set you up for Delta, and Mary chose something different to show she's
I
honest.
did. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just being honest,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. What's your favorite airport you've ever visited?
Go, Reggie. You go first this time.
Oh my goodness.
I know lots of airports.
There's lots of airports, but the one I really enjoy is, and because it's so big and it's just so overwhelming, is London Heathrow. I walk around, I'm just at awe. Sorry.
Yeah. You know what? I would have to say Singapore.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to do everything there, but it is really it's like a city in a city. It's huge. I have a bowling alley. I mean, it's absolutely over the top.
What I liked
Love
about the Heathrow was you just see so many different walks of life all
Sure.
coming together, and everyone. And I just sat. I remember just sitting there with my wife, and we were just people watching because we had some time, and it's just all walks of life walking around, and it was just. I know you get that at every airport, but that somehow that Heathrow Airport was just
Yeah.
special for me.
I can see that about London, and every other plane, it seems like it's a 747. It's massive.
Yeah, they're just massive. So there's just
Yeah.
gazillion people
Oh.
walking around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect.
Great question.
Next question. Yeah. Next question is, what's your favorite travel memory or funny moment?
Okay, 40 years in the business, and I'm like, oh my God. Favorite funny moment?
Yeah, it can be funny or travel memory.
Reggie, got one on the top of your head?
I got one. So
Okay.
my son was 12, and we were actually as a family going to Maui, and our plan was to go to Maui. We were going to go for a week from Friday to Friday, and he was playing in a baseball tournament, and if he happened to win the pony whatever super regionals, we go to Texas for the World Series, and you leave on the following weekend, which would be Saturday. So we won the tournament, and my wife and I looked at each other like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And a lot of the boys' families did not, it's just a quick turnaround. You get up and go. So I ended up having parents. So my son and I and family flew to Maui. We stayed in Maui, my son and I, for 24 hours, got on a plane from Maui, just my son and I, went to Denver, sat there because there was a kid who was on Trevor's baseball team, our starting catcher. His brother was playing a baseball tournament in Denver. Mom drove, his name was Ethan to Denver, got him on the plane with me. We flew to Texas, drove 2 hours. As I'm driving, picked up two more kids and parents at another airport, and then we drove straight to the World Series. And literally about 3 hours later, Amanda's parents flew in and met me for dinner.
Wow.
And Amanda's parents stayed, and we all hung out and watched my son play in the Pony World Series about 3 years
That's
ago
cool.
in Laredo,
Wow.
Texas, out of all places. And then after the term was over, Amanda's parents got on their plane and went back to Idaho. I got on our plane and went back to Maui to meet up with my family, and we finished our holiday the last 2 days together in Maui.
Sweet. That
There you
is a
go. Travel memory.
great, that's a great story. You know what, as you were talking, I'm like, okay, what's my memory? Mine is really current, and just because I have a lousy memory, but is my recent trip to New Zealand, and my adult sons flew down to New Zealand, met me after a business trip, and we spent 11 days, drove 1,100 miles throughout the South Island of New Zealand. And it was just such a special moment to have it with my boys, especially as adults.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many more times you're going to get to do that. We argued a lot about driving, and, I'm a backseat driver. So as far as a funny story, it was like, almost killed them only once, because they drive on the other side of the road. And they're yelling at me in there. They're just yelling at me, and I'm kind of laughing, going, because I passed like really close to a corner, and you're going pretty fast down there. There's just 2-lane roads all over New Zealand, 2-lane roads, and they got so mad at me for doing that, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but it was a fun, eventful. We went and saw. They decided that they were going to get into the Lord of the Rings,
Okay.
that they hadn't really watched it all. So they binged it all the way there. On the way home, they binged The Hobbit. And I think I told you guys this story already. But it was just a great memory.
That's awesome.
And fun. Yeah.
It's fantastic. Good one. I like that.
I love those. Those are great stories. Next question is, what's your favorite unusual travel tip you'd share with agents?
I think one thing that I have been doing lately is bringing a flashlight. I mean, you just never know. Not all hotel rooms have it. It's kind of, you can get those little ones that you can travel with. I mean, it's not even like a major travel tip. It's more like what to bring, Oh, and in Europe, bring a washcloth. They don't have washcloths in Europe. So it's kind of little things like that, but, and always make sure you get your seat assignments when you make your booking. So you're not calling me, asking me to get you a seat assignment.
Those are actually great travel trips. The washcloth, having 2 women in my life, my wife and my daughter, when you travel to Europe, you definitely need a washcloth, especially when they're taking off their makeup and they're using Kleenexes and all that.
Yep.
So yes, washcloth is a key. One thing I tell all my clients and agents that call me is, if you enjoy your hotel room you stayed at, let's say you stayed somewhere in, we'll say London at, I don't know, some hotel in London, and you enjoyed that room and you enjoyed the view of the room, take a picture of the room number. And let your agent, let your clients know that, hey, if you're going to London, stay at this hotel and request this room number because of what your experience was, so they have the same experience.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I always take pictures. If I enjoyed, we stayed, and I know, I was in Mexico with actually Amanda's family a couple years ago, and I enjoyed my in-laws, my mother-in-law and father. They had a corner view of just this gorgeous pool and the ocean. So I took a picture of that room number. So I tell everyone, if you're going to stay at this property, request this room number because it's the best view in the house. And some of the agents and clients have come back saying, that was a perfect view. Thank you. So that's my travel tip.
Wow, those are really great travel tips, and now I'm taking those and using them for me. Next question is, what's your favorite destination that exceeded your expectations?
Well, that's easy for me because it was just New Zealand. It just went right to the top of my list. I was always loving Costa Rica. I've been there like 10 times. And after this last trip to New Zealand, it just went on the top of my list.
Oh, boy.
For every reason. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to have to say Sweden. I've been there so many times now for sports. But when I went my very first time, I was not expecting what I got there. And just the culture there is fantastic. The people are wonderful. It's just very nice. It's lovely to go to, especially in Gothenburg, and the food's amazing. The area is clean, so it just exceeded my expectations. I've been there 5 or 7 times now, and I actually have a call later today with a friend of mine who wants to take his girlfriend to Gothenburg, Sweden, because she's Swedish, but she's never been there. She was born in Sweden, but came to the United States when she was a baby, an infant. So she wants to go back. And so he's like, where do I go? And I told him go obviously to her home where she was born, but take her to Gothenburg, and then there's some islands they can go sail out to. So I'm actually organizing that later today.
Very cool.
There you go.
Delta just started partnership with SAS too.
Yes.
So that's our newest partner.
And SAS is a great airline to fly. SAS is fantastic. I've always used SAS when I went to Sweden. So
great.
Awesome. Okay, next question is, what's your favorite vacation type? Beach, city, countryside, or cruise? You have to pick one.
Oh.
One.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a cruiser, even though I've been on cruises. That's not my thing. As you can tell, I drive. We have an RV. Remember, I talked about that kind of thing. It's hard. Probably countryside for me.
Okay, I'm going to go beach. I love Hawaii. I love Maui. So yeah, I'm going to say beach.
I mean, I live at the beach, so to me, it's not. I'm
Yeah.
like I'm on permanent vacation here in San Diego.
Now the funny thing about all this, and my wife and I were laughing about this a couple weeks ago because we're organizing next year's vacation to Maui, and for someone who loves the beach so much as myself, I don't have the beach body. Just so.
Well, if you're going next year, you can work on that.
Yeah, and my wife says the same thing. She's like, for a guy who loves the beach so much, you could, do a little extra work there. And if you know my wife, she's lovely. She is an archer, so she's brutally honest. So yeah.
I can second that. Next question is, what's your favorite must-have travel item?
My favorite must-have travel item. Oh, geez. Reg, you got one?
Toothbrush.
Your favorite travel item? Yeah. Well, that goes without saying. For me, I read every night when I go to bed, and I put it on dark, but it's my iPad. I have books on my iPad, and it just helps me fall asleep wherever I am, whatever time zone I'm in. So I would have to say, I really, and sometimes I use it for business, but I usually use it for my books to read at night before I go to bed. Yeah.
And I feel like we already did this one, so I'm going to skip it. Travel hack you use every time.
Travel hack.
Like you book a certain way, you wait until a certain time, you go through the airport differently. I don't know.
Yeah, I am like the consummate planner. So, and I'm always traveling just for business, whether it's coming up there or, going in my territory. I just feel like, what? This sounds so weird because it doesn't really apply so much to you guys, but when I book my trips, I know what my schedule is for the next 3 months. I try to book in advance and know where I'm going to be and plan it out. And I make sure my airline's booked, my hotel's booked, my car's booked, and I know it's done. So like I said, it's get the seat assignments, get the hotel, put it in Outlook. And so that's my hack, is just that planning, making sure it's all together, the travel part of it, because I hate not knowing where I'm going to go. I've got several sales calls, and so I know where everyone is. My GPS is going, I've got it.
Mine is, I recommend everyone to be TSA pre-check.
Oh, yeah.
If you're TSA pre-check, it takes a lot of stress if you happen to be stuck in traffic going to the airport, especially Los Angeles, or New York, if you're going to bigger airports, having TSA pre-check, it does take time. I mean, it took us 6-7 months to get approved for it as a family. But the amount of travel I do and you guys do, the agents, I recommend you guys be in TSA pre-check. You just make your life so much easier.
I agree. You're talking about global entry.
Global entry, yeah.
It will get you pre-check, and it's $100 for 5 years, and
Yeah.
it's the best $100 you could ever spend. If you prorate it out to $20 a year,
Yeah.
it is so worth it. That's a good one, Reg.
Yeah, I was in a airport actually with my son for a baseball tournament, and as a team we were running late to the airport because the game went longer. We were in Georgia, and we went checked his bag in, went through TSA pre-check, got on the plane. Half the team didn't get on because they weren't TSA pre-check and they couldn't get through. And we only had like a 30-minute window before they closed the gate. And there's nothing we can do, and there was no more flights that Sunday night. So it was, and so we were trying to get them through, but there were just so many people going out of the airport in Georgia at the time. Half the team didn't make
Atlanta. Yeah, if you're flying Delta, it's a good idea to have that, definitely.
So
I mean, once you're in, you're in. If you're connecting, that's easier. But when you're originating.
Yeah. So TSA pre-check. Sorry, I can't tell you how important TSA pre-check is.
Absolutely.
And if you have children, especially young children, it's heaven.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Great tips. Great tips. I think the agents are getting lots of travel inspiration and travel knowledge from you both. So this is wonderful. The next game is called Two Truths and a Lie, Travel Edition. And this is what's going to happen is Mary has already done this because we discussed it ahead of time. She's going to share 2 true travel experiences that she's had and one that's made up.
Oh my goodness.
Reggie, me, and the travel agents are going to have to guess which one is a lie.
I like this game, but man, you put me on the spot.
I know, because I had to really think about it. I'm glad you gave it to me in advance. So while I'm doing my truths, you can think about yours, although you got to listen.
Well, all Reggie has to do, and me and the travel agents is guess which one is a lie. So
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
All right. I once went to a toga party at the Colosseum in Rome. And then I've also gone diving on the Great Barrier Reef. And one other time, I went to Moscow and I went and saw the Bolshoi Ballet.
Oh my goodness.
Those are so difficult. How are you supposed to guess? Okay, I got mine, Reggie. I'm gonna say I don't wanna influence you though.
I got mine. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do the toga party because that just seems really random, like a toga party in the Colosseum in Rome. So I think that's a lie.
How about you, Reg?
I agree, the toga party. Even though I think Mary would go to a toga party, I don't know about the Rome.
Okay, we had some travel agents in chat said they think it's the Moscow ballet one. Okay, so Mary, what was it?
I have to tell the truth. Well, I must be a bad liar because it was the toga party in Rome.
Oh yes. I just thought that was too perfect.
Wouldn't that be fun?
But that sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I used to work for a travel agency in an incentive and meetings department. And we put together an incentive group to Rome, and they did a toga party. It wasn't at the Colosseum, because that would be really, I should have picked something else, like the Forum or something like that. But they did do a toga party during their event at probably the hotel or something. I can't remember.
Now, if you would have said you did a toga party at USC's Coliseum, I would have believed that one.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good.
That's funny. Okay, so now it's a game for both of you. We'll have Mary go first, and we'll have Reggie go second. It's the Travel Bucket List Challenge. You're going to name as many dream destinations you can in 10 seconds. Mary, on your marks, get set, go.
Croatia, Africa, Scandinavia, Kyoto,
Done.
Osaka.
Good job. Good
That
job.
wasn't very
Okay.
many.
Okay, Reggie,
Yep.
set, go.
Australia, Japan, Croatia. Been there. Um, oh,
Done.
Iceland.
Iceland, that's a good one. I want to do Iceland too.
Yeah, I want to do Iceland. Amanda's got to do Iceland, but I have not.
Yeah.
So,
But I go back and I want to experience it different. So that's a great place to go.
okay.
So this will be a quick round. This is just fill in the blank. You guys just fill in the blanks and then we'll move on to the next one. So ready? The
Gotta
best
put it
city
up there.
for a foodie is blank.
Best city for a foodie is,
I would probably say San Francisco.
I'm going to say New York.
Both good choices. You should never visit blank without trying blank.
You should never visit New Zealand without trying lamb.
You should never visit Los Angeles without trying a Tommy's burger.
Okay. My go-to travel trip for first-time travelers is blank.
For first-time travel? For first-time travelers.
Yes.
Bring a extra phone charger. You know, the battery pack.
Yeah.
Mine is don't stress, enjoy, because it's just vacation. You're just traveling. Enjoy it.
Nice.
Good.
The best time of year to travel is blank because blank.
I think October. Just because it's lower, it's a shoulder season, pricing, less crowds. Again, I love the fall if you're in the northern hemisphere. So there you go.
I love October because exactly what Mary said, but I also like April because of all the new schools have different big holiday now for spring break. That it's not all jam-packed in 1 week, so April is also a good one.
Yep, shoulder seasons.
Shoulder
definitely.
seasons.
Perfect. A travel trend that I think will take off is blank.
Oh,
You have it, Reg?
no, I'm thinking.
Well, I'm not doing it, but I think this GPT chat is probably already taken off. People who are looking for something to do, or even using it for their social media. If you're a travel advisor, you want to put something out there for your social media. People are writing these things up with GPT chat. I think it's really that, and an AI.
I like that. I agree with you. I can't think of anything else, so I'm going to agree. And Chat GPT I've actually used it a couple times myself and pretty impressed. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Good answers. Okay, rapid fire questions with Reggie, and then questions from travel agents in chat.
So, Mary, when's the next time you come into LA so we can take you to lunch?
Tomorrow.
Perfect. Any recommendations? My son has his first driving lesson tomorrow. Any recommendations for, because you've had sons, that I need to, when I'm behind the wheel with him, that you recommend besides hold my breath and close my eyes?
Do you have some Xanax?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Breathe, patience. Breathe and patience, and enjoy the ride, Dad.
I'm trying.
It's like when they first walk and everything changed when they
Yep.
walk.
Yep.
Same thing about driving. Everything, it's a whole other level.
Well, it's when my daughter started driving, I was never worried about it. She's very calm and just follows the rules, and then watching him grow up, yeah, he's not like his sister. So
No, and boys, I have a philosophy about the boys and girls, and boys are going to cost you big chunks of money because of vehicles.
yes.
Whether it's repairing, totaling. I've had 2 totaled. I got another car in front that's pretty much going to be totaled. We go through cars like your daughter probably goes through clothes. So.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Deep
At
breath.
least that's my family.
You've answered it, but your favorite time of the year, you've answered it, but it was one of my questions I had on my phone, so I got to ask it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. You know what? I just love colors. I'm wearing black today, but I do love fall and the fall colors. And, I always go back to New Zealand. I went in April to New Zealand. It was their fall. So I got to see all the colors there. I love going up to the mountains and seeing that. We don't live that far away, but up in Utah and going up there, it's just, there's something about it. It's just really magical, just those vibrant colors. I mean, I love the spring too. And, there's different colors, but I don't know, fall is just so beautiful.
So I know you're a San Diegan, so you love San Diego. Are you rooting for the Dodgers or against the Dodgers?
Well, Reg, my first third of my life, I spent living in the San Fernando Valley, Dodgers, Lakers, Rams. I'm rooting for Dodgers, even though my friends are not happy about that because they all are Padre. And when I'm a Padre fan all year.
Right.
Absolutely. But true Padre fans hate the Dodgers. My good friends do not like the Dodgers, so they're rooting for the Yankees. But no, Dodgers, go blue.
My brother-in-law, one of the twins, one's a Dodger diehard. The other one lives in San Diego, and he's a Padre diehard. So the text message bantering right now is, because if you live in San Diego, you do not like the Dodgers, period.
No. And again, I'm not a New Yorker. I'm not a Yankee fan. I have no affiliation to New York at all. I'm California. I'm West Coast, Southern California on top of that. So, I mean, I love to see them doing great. And how about Freddie Freeman?
Oh,
MVP.
Absolutely. Just
what unbelievable. What a Cinderella story on Friday night. I just sat there going, no way.
Yep.
That was amazing. I was with Yankee fans and they were like, that was impressive.
Yeah. It was one of those moments where you sat there going, wow.
I just watched history.
Yeah. And then the parallel between him and Kirk Gibson, the exact same time, what was it, 8:38 or whatever, 8:37, whatever that same time it happened. So it was pretty special. I remember as a kid, the Kirk Gibson one and then this. So it was, for me to witness 2 incredible moments in baseball history, I was like, that's pretty unreal.
Yeah. So. It was pretty cool.
Well, Manna, do we have any questions for the audience?
Yeah, so I think we'll just ask this one because it's a pretty in-depth question.
Okay.
So it's, Mary, is there any way that when we are searching in World Agent Direct that we could be able to get the option to mix and match flights by time and or airports instead of having to call into the call center?
It's a great question. If you search by departure time and you click on the departure time, you will book your outbound and you will book your return separately. So it comes up your outbound, comes up your return. If you're clicking on best price, which is how it defaults, it's always going to marry the outbound with the return to find the best price for the best pair. Tomorrow, when I'm doing the training, I'm actually going to go into the multi-destination tab, which seems to always stump everyone. It may be a little advanced for some newbies out there, but for those of you who have been on World Agent, it's one of those areas that gets a little bit confusing on how to do it. So that's what I'm going to show you, is how to book multi-destination on World Agent Direct tomorrow. But I hope that helps. And if it doesn't, send me a note.
Well, Mary, thank you so much. I know that you have a lot going on today and you're coming here tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And thank you again. And everyone watching, thank you so much. And keep booking Delta Vacations. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for everything you guys do. You're awesome.
All right, well, stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Sorry, I thought